Hey, my lovely Aries. Today I'm going to do a reading for y'all for January 2017, like the first half or whatever. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're not sure where Aries is, I'll leave links in the description box. So this is going to be a general reading. Uh, I might pick up on one thread, or it could cover a lot of areas depending on what cards I see and what messages I get. I already shuffled, so let's get started. I let the cards flip out naturally. I do a traditional Celtic cross. Uh, yeah, let's get started. I do want to say, for any of y'all that are feeling like things are kind of tough or things aren't going the way they should be going right now, just to not give up. That was the message I was getting. 2016 has been a tough year, to say the least, for everybody. I feel like there are certain challenges we go through to teach us lessons, whether we want to or not. And I feel like I'm an idealist to a fault, but I try to stay positive regardless. And I feel like Aries, y'all are pretty positive signs. A pretty positive sign, because you guys, well, for one, you don't take no for an answer. So you always have to keep pushing through regardless of what's going on. And I feel like that's your greatest strength. If those cards would have fallen out, I would have taken them, but they didn't. I don't know, a little weird method of taking cards out. Sometimes I just feel like some cards are trying to get more attention than others. But again, that really depends on my intuition. So the overall theme of this reading is the Knight of Swords reverse. If this isn't you, Aries, it's an air sign. The Knights, the people cards in tarot can really be anything, especially the Knights. They're either people giving messages, people coming in with news, or it's an energy. So again, Knight of Swords, either I see you guys as heading recklessly into a situation, impulsively, not really using proper forethought and planning. Which Aries can do sometimes, but again, I'm trying not to generalize signs. So if this isn't you guys, sort of heading into a situation or being forced into a situation without really having the mental clarity or all of the information that you need in order to successfully execute it, is somebody coming into your life that's like this, somebody that is they're coming at you sideways, to put it in that sort of term. It's either a coworker, it's somebody you're dating, or it's just like you're probably, since I'm recording this right before the Mercury retrograde, and these energies obviously will be like December energy, sort of, time doesn't matter with astrology, or with tarot. It's all just energy that flows. So, and there are certain things that repeat themselves. So, with this sort of energy, it could be just like communications are not ideal. You're not communicating with somebody in the way you want to, or somebody's just really coming at you crooked. And they've got you on your guard. They've got you edgy, or you're edgy. So in the center of your reading, we have the Six of Cups reverse. So first impression I'm getting is that for some of you, this is somebody that you're dating. This is somebody that you've been involved with, or it's like a really close friend, somebody that you have a real strong emotional attachment to, or a situation that you have an emotional attachment to. Something that I feel like you're probably, with this being reversed, you're blinding yourself to the situation, or you're so drenched in this nostalgia. It's something that you have a really like heart connection with, that you're involved with. And so the energy around it, we have the Page of Swords. Some of you are getting, in reverse, some of you are getting information. I really feel like if this isn't one person, it's several people. It's just news. You're not getting pleasant news about a situation. A lot of gossip. I'm seeing gossip. I'm seeing backtalk. I'm seeing rudeness. I'm seeing people that you might have trusted, people that you feel like you might have even loved, or a person. They're really just giving it to you right now. And I'm not sure why. Foundation, we have the Hierophant. So for some of you, you're married to this person. The Hierophant's been coming up for a lot of readings that I've done. I mean, you guys are my third reading. But I think, I don't know if it was in the Gemini reading, but it was in the Capricorn reading. So it's probably somebody that you're involved in a situation wherein, a work situation, some of you might work for a government, or for a church or something. And you're having to deal with all of this negative energy around you. But I'm also getting that for some of you, some news is coming out about your faith is being tested. What you thought was true, or what you thought was the truth, is just seriously being tested right now. And in the past, woo! Shouldn't do these over open flames. But in your past, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Oh, boy. Okay, there's a lot of people so far that I'm seeing right now, and I'm seeing a lot of different threads. For some of you, you guys are married to someone, and you're on the defensive or on the offensive because you feel like there's just information surrounding your relationship with this person that is leading you to just sort of fight dirty. And I feel like this person, they sort of reveal a part of themselves that you didn't know existed. Or that they hid from you. This might even involve a child. But I feel like one message I'm getting is that right now, I don't see anything terrible, But right now, there's probably a point in your relationship where both of you are kind of like sparring mentally or with communication. Swords represent communication. So if this Knight of Swords in reverse or this Page of Swords isn't you, if you have an air, moon, or rising, or sun, or whatever, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, that's not you. It's somebody that you know, somebody that you're dealing with, or it's just that energy. So if I'm feeling like there's something, it's like there's a battle of words happening right now with somebody, and I'm also getting the feeling that somebody can't make up their mind. Either you or the other person, either of you guys just can't make up your mind with regards to where this relationship is going. Where this is going, yeah. For others of you, I'm seeing this as a work situation where you probably felt like you wasted some sort of emotional energy into a situation. And for some reason, I'm feeling like this has got you really edgy. You're probably working at some place that you probably need to work at, or you feel like you have to work at because it pays the bills. But there's just like this confusion, I feel like, between how you feel and what you think. Because I feel like with your emotions, emotionally, you're just like confused right now. You're like, well, I feel like I like working here because it fulfills this part of me, but then, or because you worked here so long, but now it's just like you have to deal with probably people around you, gossip, that sort of got you in an uncomfortable position right now. And for others of you, I feel like you cut somebody out. And I'm seeing regret. I'm seeing regret. Somebody left you. And I feel like the situation that y'all were in probably wasn't even that good to begin with. And for some reason, I'm seeing that some of you are regretting it. So crowning you, we have the World. So I'm feeling like whatever the situation was, it's leading you to question your next step. So again, if you are married with somebody, I'm feeling like this is a tense chapter in your marriage right now. You might have kids or a kid. You might feel like emotionally right now your will is being tested. Do you feel like you're probably fighting a worthless battle? You probably feel like you're in an argument or you're in a situation right now that you shouldn't even be in because you love this person, but this person is making you just like question your love. You're just like, what are we doing? Why are we arguing over things that that doesn't matter? And I feel like they're withholding their love from you. And I feel like you're probably being cold just right back to them to spite them. That you're fighting back against that by being cold and by being distant because you feel like they've sort of closed themselves off emotionally, or at least that you can't reach them emotionally. So you're just like, well, what am I doing? For others of you, you feel like you're not. You feel it internally that you're not. Your hopes have been crushed. The Six of Cups in reverse, I see like as your dreams being, I guess crushed is a heavy word, but it's just like your dreams aren't coming true. What you thought was good and pure isn't the case. So I feel like there's a fundamental questioning of where you are right now currently in the world and where you want to be. But I just feel like right now there's just a lot of confusion. Maybe you don't know where to go. Maybe you're stressing yourself out too much about, because Aries, you guys are very passionate and you guys are very just go, go, go. So I feel like some of you, you're reacting negatively to that stress. Whether it's a home situation that isn't going right, or it's just like you just feel like emotionally you're just like unfulfilled. And if that's the case, I feel like you felt this way for a long time. Or somebody put you in a position in which you feel that sort of way. And for others of you, I feel like you cut somebody out, somebody else is rushing in, and you're probably not thinking about the situation too much. Or maybe this person, they're allowing you to see what sort of possibilities that you want to pursue. Maybe it is their brashness, or maybe it is something about them, or maybe it's you. Maybe you're, realizing that how you're existing, how you're going in, through the world, if you are just angry or stressed, or, there's people around you that are angry and stressed, it's causing you to just like reevaluate. Just be like, okay, I don't need this in my life. Where do I take this? Where do I go? So with the Queen of Pentacles in your future conditions in the reverse, for a few of you, I'm seeing you. Okay, I see some of you in a relationship. Again, if you don't know, it's very easy for me to see the court cards as energies instead of people. But Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So some of you might be dealing with somebody like that, or you might meet somebody like this, where you just feel like they don't have, they're shitty planners. Like if you're married, like you might deal with somebody like this, where it's just like, for some reason, there's always an issue about money, or there's always an issue about just the very foundation of how you guys are living your life. You're probably struggling to make ends meet. You have a kid, and you're always on the defensive about that, and you're always fighting about that. And this person, you're trying to reach through to them, but emotionally they're cut off, or they're just really being a dick to you, and you're just like, wow, something's got to give. I feel like with some of you, you're just really fighting fire with fire. And you're hurting on the inside the entire time, but I don't see some of you acknowledging it. Because I feel like for some of you, you've probably felt so emotionally bereft, depleted for such a long time now that you've sort of just accepted this as it is. And I see with some of you that, you realize that you just can't keep going on like this. For others of you in which this is like a creative endeavor or a career pursuit or something, I see you guys as struggling to get something off the ground. And that's really stressing you out. And I feel like you have these ideas of what you want to do, but it's hard for you to implement that because you have obligations. You're tied to something that you can't just get up and walk away from. And I feel like for those of you that are trying to do that anyway, you're meeting resistance, or your ideas aren't coming across as well as you would like. For those of you that I see that are in a new relationship, this relationship probably isn't going to go anywhere because you are idealizing a situation. And you're probably falling for somebody's charm, and you're falling for the words somebody says, the words somebody is saying, instead of noticing the red flags and seeing it for what it is. Interesting. So you in this situation, we have the King of Pentacles. If this isn't, it's got to be you. Some of you might have Earth in your chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, I see for some of you, you're married. You're married, and it's always a fight over finances. It's always a fight over how to do things. It's always a fight over how the kids should be raised, of what, especially, in terms, I see it as tradition. So maybe you guys had problems during the holidays and determining what to do. Both of you are just emotionally and mentally just like, there's a disconnect. You guys are always fighting. You're both closed off. And you guys really would, at this point, you're probably just keeping up appearances. Or you guys are, if or both of you are probably in a place right now where you're just like, okay, how do we get out of this? Because I see as one of you is like really having like a broken heart. If not a broken heart, you're just like emotionally crushed. Again, crushed is a heavy word, but now I'm seeing it now that I see that there's a marriage here, or possibly a marriage here, or a long-term relationship. Um, and so some of you are just like, you're just like, how do we get out of this? And I feel like one of you isn't being cooperative with the other. You are the other person. You know, these energies always go both ways. So if I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the other person, or vice versa. With others of you, you have an idea of where you want to be or where you want to go, but it's taking longer than you would like, at least in terms of career or creative endeavors or whatever, or finances. There's something that you have to rebuild. There's something that you've just been so despondent about. But I feel like you're at least thinking about where you need to go. I see some of you as being really confident in terms of where you take your creative pursuit or your creative endeavor. And what the next step is. For others of you in a new relationship, because I also see a new relationship here for some reason, you're trying to make something work that it's not that it won't work, but it's probably again, I see you guys as you're probably putting more work into the relationship than the other person is. And for some of you, you might feel comfortable in a work situation and you're probably just dealing with some disappointments. But I also feel like for some of you, you're dealing with the byproducts of having to deal in a of having to deal with the stressful work situation. You know, you're trying to navigate all of this pettiness of the communications not really being clear or efficient. You know, you might feel like just emotionally drained from it, but you're just like, you know what? I know what I have to do to get to this next level. I'm just going to plan and just keep working at it and just keep going. So with some of you, this is a pretty big card. So maybe for all of you, we have the Tower in reverse for the environment surrounding you. Things are changing. I see change everywhere in this reading. Things are changing, but very slowly. The World card is a very slow moving energy. This takes its time. It's ruled by, or at least I think it's ruled by like Saturn or Capricorn or something. So it's time. It's karma. It's lessons. We're just not given the world. We have to. It's like us working in tandem with the universe. It's very slow moving. Excuse me. The Tower as well in reverse. It's not sudden. It's not cataclysmic. It's not anything like that. It's just things. So if you're in a marriage, you guys are working together. Maybe both of you or one of you is trying to work through this to rebuild something that has been lost. You're healing this emotional disappointment and you're trying to heal these problems of communication. And that's a very slow moving energy. And I really feel like one of you is putting in more work than the other. I feel like the other one just isn't even trying. So I see that. I see with some of you, again, you're changing a work situation. You're changing your environment. Even if you're not working, if you don't work, you're just really changing your perception about things. You're changing how you do things. Because I feel like with this Hierophant here, you're used to doing things a certain way, a very practical sort of way. And I don't see you guys really budging from that. You know, Aries being a cardinal sign, you guys are pretty straightforward in how you do things. You're very goal oriented, so you're probably implementing. For some of you, you're implementing your traditional way to do things with this change, to change things for the better for you. And for some of you, this is with a creative endeavor, or with some of you, it's just your environment, or with how you think, or how you approach situations. For some of you, this is a marriage. And again, for some of you that are in a new relationship, that'll be over pretty soon. Time will force that to be done. So your hopes and fears, we have Strength card in reverse and the Five of Cups. So if you're married, you if you're married, I feel like for some of you, you probably feel like you're delaying the inevitable, or this is a situation that you can't overcome sheerly just by your force of will. Because I feel like whatever you do, you might just feel just disappointed in the end, like you did all this work for nothing. Or at least you might just be convincing yourself of that. You might just be assuming that, assuming the worst without actually trying. So for some of you that I feel like you have a partner that's not cooperative, or, wanting to change with you, you know that you can't do this on your own. But things are really difficult right now, and you're not sure how to get through it. But I feel like with that situation, communication. You guys have to be able to be as open and honest with each other as you can be. It's always easier said than done. But I feel like for some of you, there's a lot at stake. The very future of your relationship, the foundation of your life is at stake. For some of you, with regards to career, if you're planning on doing a new business endeavor, a creative project, or whatever, it is taking all of your strength, but I see persistence in spite of this strength in reverse, and in spite of this Five of Cups. Like, I feel like you have a clear goal in mind, but just be wary of the fact that not everything is just it's not going to be easy. I feel like if any sign knows that the most, it's Aries. You guys are always willing to take a challenge. And for those of you that just got in a relationship, just a new relationship, or you kicked somebody out and somebody else came right back in, don't let that bother you. I see some of y'all is just really beating yourself up over nothing. Because in the grand scheme of things, there's something better to accomplish. Reconstructing your environment, reconstructing how you approach situations, how you deal with them on a emotional level, how you deal with them on a personal level. You have to get your house in order before you try to play house, or before you try to build something that wasn't meant to be built. With the outcome, we have the Queen of Swords. So I feel like for some of you, you are just going to have to make a decision. And it's going to be a tough decision. Some of you, with regards to this marriage or this long-term relationship, you're going to you see the situation clearly for what it is, and you're not going to be afraid to just, put it all out there. The Queen of Swords, she uses her emotion, or she's not emotionally detached, but she leads with her intellect, and she leads from it. She leads with it from a grounded place. So it's not like she's out to hurt anybody, or she's not out to, win. She just uses her logic and her intellect to, like, prove her point, because she has the point. And I feel like for some of y'all, you just know that you don't have to deal with any of this bullshit anymore. So you're just like, okay, I'm making a decision. Like, you're either going to help me out here, or, something's got to change. For some of you, with regards to, I see even as a creative endeavor, you're just like, okay, I've been seeing things from the wrong perspective. I've just been dealing with things. I've been mired in the drama, because, drama is fun. I also see Page of Swords in reverse as being the love of petty drama. Just being in it. But I feel like going from this knight, from this page to this knight to this queen, just being like, okay, whatever, screw the bullshit. I'm going forward. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I see a new direction. I see a new path. For some of you that need to get your life in order, if you're not working, I see you really cutting through some things, because I feel like life situations around you are going to force you to sort of wake up. Queen of Swords also sees waking up, aha. It's like a huge aha moment. So some of y'all are just going to be like, wow, I've been totally blinding myself to a situation, or you're going to get tired of seeing things as they were, and just be like, okay, this is how things are, and this is how I'm going to go forward with this. So, yeah, not bad. I'm going to pull a card, depending on how many fall out. Not all those, obviously. But just one last word of advice, I guess, for Aries. Jeez. If I could shuffle the cards today. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I really feel like, at least for the first half of January, some of y'all are really going to come into a place that you're comfortable with, where you actually feel like you've probably gained some clarity in the situation. That is, if you've allowed yourself to do that. But I feel like you'll reach that anyway. Just because a lot of things around you are going to change, but it's going to be really slow. I feel like January is just going to be a time when we're just dealing with things. So, yeah, wow. I have the Death card and the Two of Cups. With some of you, this is going to be a total transformation with your relationship. Either you're going to let this person go, you're going to get a divorce. Well, I don't really see cards for divorce, but how you guys are going to deal with your relationship is going to change. For good or for bad. I can't tell just with the Death card here. But something about it is going to change. And that, I feel like, working in tandem with this Tower is going to be something that is so obvious, but it's just going to be very, very slow moving. And then with the Two of Cups here, it's probably about a relationship. Some of you either with a long-term partner or a marriage. For some of you, with a creative endeavor, you're just going to totally just redo something about how you do things, just going to die. Just so you can be able to see something clearer with this Queen of Swords again. And then with some of you, it's with yourself. You're letting a part of yourself die. You're letting doubt. You're letting certain patterns that you do just sort of fall by the wayside. Or situations around you is doing it for you. And I feel like there's no other way. You're going to be forced to accept it. You're going to be forced to come to this Queen of Swords. Because simply ignoring it isn't going to help any. So, yeah. That was your reading for the first half of January, Aries. Thank y'all so much for listening. If you liked it, please like, share, subscribe, or comment. I would really appreciate it. I love doing these. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.